You have found TheLines.com's NFL Survivor Guide. In this video, we are going to share with you all the best tips and tricks and the available tools to help maximize your chances of taking down your NFL Survivor pools. Whether you're seeing this video before week 1 or in the middle of the season, there are some very useful tools available to you via TheLines.com and our partners at Pool Genius to help get you closer to the finish line, to take down, to become the lone survivor, the sole survivor. And even if you get near the finish line, it'll give you options for how best to monetize that ticket if you so choose. My name is Stephen Andress, managing editor at TheLines.com, and I'm happy to announce we have a partnership with Pool Genius. I can tell you we don't take partnerships lightly. If we're going to partner with somebody, it's because we believe that it's going to help make you smarter bettors, help make you smarter pool contestants. And I can tell you, I have used these products and it is just a fantastic week-to-week tool for NFL Survivor. So we're going to take you through some of those tools, what you're going to get with a Pool Genius subscription. And you also get a free 3-day trial through our partnership with Pool Genius. So over at TheLines.com, you go to /NFL-Survivor-Pools. We'll throw it in the description as well of this video. This is our page for NFL Survivor, everything you need to know. You'll see the link to our Pool Genius partnership and the free 3-day trial. All you have to do is click play now to sign up for that. We also are starting to list some of the available pools that are out there at big platforms like DraftKings. I can also share now that we will be launching our own free-to-play NFL Survivor contest with a prize to the winner. If you wind up making it perfectly through the end of the contest, you will win a prize, usually gift cards. So go to play.thelines.com to find that free-to-enter Survivor contest. If it's not there yet, if you're seeing this video early, check back. It'll be there before week 1. All right, so I'm going to share 3 tips and tricks and the available tools that I use each and every year when I'm trying to win my Survivor pool. So we're going to head over to Pool Genius here. And once you're logged in, you're going to see the tab for NFL Survivor. So let's click on that. And then under the sub menu, you see some of the cool tools that are available over at Pool Genius. The first one I want to note is the data grid. This is so cool. So they have it broken down by week. I'm recording this now, about 2 weeks before week 1 and the Thursday night kickoff. So we have a full list for week 1 based on several different factors, and they rank it from best survivor pick to worst survivor pick. So they have the first column here, PG odds. That's what Pool Genius's handicappers are saying the odds should be and the chance that this team advances to the next week and you stay alive in your Survivor contest. So right now they're giving Cincinnati the best chance. They also have a column for market odds. So this column is exclusively what the betting market is saying. If you convert their money line odds, what their implied probability is for this team to not lose and advance you in your Survivor contest to the following week. They convert that back to money line here. You can look at the spread as well if you prefer and sort that way. And here's where it gets interesting. There's a column for popularity, which is really important when you're thinking about Survivor, because we've all been in contests where we have what we think is a lock to move on to the following week, and it happens to be the most popular pick, and we get eliminated. Taking the most popular pick every week in Survivor, this is tip number 1. Try to avoid that. Try to avoid taking the most popular pick every week in Survivor, because it's only going to decrease your chances of being the only survivor left at the end of the pool, and therefore the winner take all prize. You don't want to be splitting that at the end if you're doing Survivor properly. So it's not, if you can determine what the most popular team is each week and then go elsewhere, that's a great tool. And most of the people in your pools are not going to have a tool to be able to do that. So this popularity column is huge. And we also have week 1 EV, expected value. So if you want to be a little bit contrarian, you can see what the expected value is for that team and going that route. And lastly, this column at the end is also very important. Pool Genius is giving you information on future value. So the higher the number, the more future value that team has. And therefore, maybe you may want to save that team for down the road. So keep that in mind. We see here Cincinnati may have a higher chance of winning in week 1, according to Pool Genius in the market odds, but they also have a much, much higher future value than the next team on the list, the Seattle Seahawks. And right now, we also see the Bengals are much, much more popular than Seattle. So maybe we don't want to take the most popular team, and maybe we don't want to take that team because of future value. So a couple of options there, a couple of things to think about in your weekly Survivor handicapping. All right, the next thing I want to show here is the season planner. Also, really cool tool. So this is a total grid based on what the odds right now are for each of these teams to win every single week. And you can kind of plot along the way. Okay, let's say we take Seattle week 1. All right, now we're in week 2, and it's automatically filtering in green what the best or what the teams are that have the highest probability of winning that week. So the more green it is, the more chance there is in the market odds and Pool Genius handicapping that this team is going to move on to the following week. And you can just go along and plot your course here. You can do this manually. If you don't want to do it manually, if you want some help, you want the computer and the algorithms to just do it, just go to the optimal path tool. Hit that button, and it's going to generate optimal future picks for you. So you can have fun and do it yourself in the season planner, or you can just go to the optimal path. And down here, we have 2 options. The first is the optimal path for maximum expected value. It's a fancy way of saying the best chance you're going to have of being the only person to survive at the end of the pool. Now, that's going to mean possibly taking in some weeks a team that is not the most likely team to advance, a team that's not the most popular. But if your goal is to be the only person winning money in this pool to maximize your potential payout, then you should be looking at max expected value under the optimal path tool here on Pool Genius. The other option is just max survival. If you don't care about potentially splitting the winnings with somebody at the end, you just want to be able to brag that you won a survivor pool, even if you had to share that championship with more than a couple of other people, then you should be looking at max survival down here. This takes away expected value. It's just looking at the highest likelihood for you to get to the finish line and which teams you should choose each week in order to accomplish that. Awesome tool. Really cool. And the best part about this is you can look at it now before the season as you go along. Obviously, odds are going to change. Like what this is projecting for each of these teams each and every week, we know that changes throughout the course of an NFL season. So with the Pool Genius subscription, you come back, you can fill in the teams that you've picked each week. So, okay, I picked Cincinnati this week, week 2. I wound up picking, I don't know, let's just say Detroit versus Tampa Bay. Well, now down below, the max expected value optimal path and the max survival optimal path are taking into account that you pick those 2 teams in week 2, and it's going to find you a path the rest of the season where Seattle and Detroit are no longer available. So again, you can keep coming back to this every single week, double checking. Is the optimal path the same? Has it shifted a little bit? Has the market changed, either upgraded or downgraded a team to give you the best chance of reaching the end of the line for you? So such a cool tool from Pool Genius. And again, go to the link in the description. Get your free 3-day trial for Pool Genius to at least get yourself started on the right foot here in week number 1. Or if you're watching this video in the middle of the season, increase your chances of getting to the finish line here. This is getting serious now. There's big money on the line potentially here, no matter which pool you're in. So maximize your chances here a little bit. Other couple final notes I want to mention. Pool Genius does have articles specifically for Survivor if you're into that. And if you're new to Survivor pools and you're not quite sure how to set one up, you need a little help there. There's a help column. You can go through some of the FAQs, some of the tips and tricks for hosting and running a Survivor pool, and even playing in a Survivor pool. So there's a forum as well, a support forum with questions and that have been answered by experts and people that have a lot of experience playing in Survivor pools. So you can see that there. But yeah, the 3 biggest ones I would point out just for tools, the data grid, the season planner, and the optimal path are just musts for me each and every week for my Survivor pools. So again, go to thelines.com/NFL-Survivor-pools. You can get your free 3-day trial. We are also doing a weekly Survivor column each week. So if you can't find that, you can find the weekly column. Mo Nuara already posted one on 3 teams to avoid early in the season because their outlook may not be as obvious as it may seem to other people. So, the Chargers are one of those teams that he thought maybe we should avoid early, even though they get a good week 1 game against the Raiders. So keep an eye out for those. Each of those columns as well will have the link to the free 3-day trial. So invite you to do it. I can speak from experience. It's a great tool. I love it. I wouldn't recommend it if I wasn't using it myself. So I hope you enjoy it. Hope that was helpful for trying to win your Survivor pool this year. It's great. I mean, you have to try and avoid. Let's do a quick recap here as we close up shop. 3 biggest things to try and remember here. You have to try to avoid picking the most popular team every week. And these tools will help you figure out which of those teams will be the most popular. You have to plan for the future. You can't burn a team that you're going to need later on in the year because the rest of the options are just too close and they're in coin flip games, or worst case, they might even be underdogs. Think about that. And thirdly, maybe most important, decide whether or not your goal is to be the lone survivor, or decide whether or not your goal is to just get to the finish line no matter what. That'll help you figure out what strategy you should pick moving forward for the rest of the year and adjust your risk tolerance on whether or not you want to take a shot on a team that might be a smaller favorite than a huge favorite that might be the most popular pick. So keep those things in mind. Thank you for watching. You can follow me on X at Steven Andress and the number 1, Steven with a PH. DMs are open. Always happy to answer any Survivor questions you may have. If you enjoyed the video, do me a small favor. Just hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Let us know in the description what some of your favorite things to think about when you're playing Survivor pools are. What teams are you nervous about? What teams are you higher on potentially than the rest of the public is going into the NFL season, and if you're watching here in the middle of the season. So really enjoyed doing this. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Best of luck with all your Survivor pools.